Sleepwalking frequency, a trail of tailored zombies. Consciousness clouded in vanity, walking alone in manufactured unity. A construct so curious, connecting every single one of us, reflected in this distorted looking glass, and then projected. So as we fall in line and blind our minds, as we try to refine the truth inside, as we desperately try to hide that we're ruled by pride, castles made of sand get lost in the tide. Do you feel alive? And what's your perception of alive? Treading water in the turbulent, trading mediocrity for enlightenment. Do you know yourself? And who do you think you even know? An idealistic projection, an unrealistic expectation of perfection? All we are is our own perception. We just exist here, some more alive than most. Revolving Flintstones backdrop, pocket full of copy and paste to reduce my response time. Maybe I just need some sleep. Maybe I just need my bed. Turn the TV off and jot down all of the thoughts inside my head, like consciousness is nothing more than a TV signal. Your brain ain't at the centre, it's simply a receptacle. And when that fuse blows, the transmission continues. Stop acting like this world can't progress without you. Board up the windows, lock the doors. I'm not part of your world anymore, not represented by your hate. I've got enough insecurities on my own plate to keep me belly full. I'm not a fool, but I'll happily play that role if it means you leave me the fuck alone. If it means I get to spend some time at home on my own alone, but rarely ever lonely. I always enjoy the silence and dig my own company. And I enjoy the company of others, but they're few and far between. I'm not anti-humanity, it's just sometimes you're all a bit of a letdown to me. So I shut the blinds to keep my mind blind to the cold world outside, but it keeps seeping in. Reality, it keeps creeping in. These walls don't fall, they just keep crumbling. These fingers freeze and don't do a goddamn thing as I desperately try to disconnect these cables, but I don't seem to be able. This rickety old bridge is no longer that stable. She said, when you get like this, you're a nightmare to deal with. I'm sick of your symbolic diagnostics and self-destructive characteristics, and the fires you're setting are burning bridges that you could do with. You need more in your life than idea and kitten kisses. I said true, but often feel like I'm living my life in the wrong movie. It's like audition for Jack Burton, but wound up as an extra in a romantic comedy, and it's not even like I got to play Paul Rudd's best friend. I was the dude who was way off in the back when they broke up in that cafe, and I was told how to react. For some reason, life always seemed to seem like that, and it's hard to build bridges when you're busy building walls. And it's hard to watch the darkness make so many good people fall. And it's hard to stand tall when you carry so much regret on your shoulders. When you start to get older and you worry you're just getting colder, I'll be alright. Thanks for the advice, the thought was nice. Now I'm going to go to bed, kiss my kitten goodnight and sleep for never. I'll see you later. Erratic energy, elegantly flowing with effortless motion, lost to the breeze, disconnected from the ocean. A wayward river, destructive in nature, a confluence of consciousness this river entwines, connecting us. Turbulent, inconsistent, isolated, conflicted, a solo journey, the path of most resistance. The river shivered with indifference as the sunlight hit your golden, dancing like flames through the night. Okay, wait, let's escape this landscape, move forward and forsake this physical boundary, embrace a collective reality, embrace what we are to we, embrace the owls, they ain't what they seem. Embrace me a damn fine cup of tea, this is home, this is serenity. This is the place, this is exactly the way it is supposed to be, and if it only lasts for a moment, well fuck it, I'll hold it in my heart and memories for eternity. But incidentally, the symmetry of this energy was a trip to me. It lasted for eternity, flowed through infinity. Nature bowing to its simplicity, consciousness constructed by its complexity, 1,000 ships for its beauty, a blue rose wrapped in its own mystery, Schrodinger's theory where nothing exists outside this pocket reality that we created so effortlessly. The calm was overwhelming, a reflection of heaven that was set in our collective imaginations, but fuck me was it compelling. Trapped between those two worlds, tracing those three words, never to be heard, never to be observed, forever known, forever owned. Those words, they aren't alone, I write them from my home. Trace them onto your skin so they dissolve. So nobody will ever know, but I know I'll just lay here and hope this lasts forever, 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 ever. And as our paths inevitably do part, leave my heart with a to be continued question mark. I know that if I don't kiss you now, You might be gone forever, and as our paths inevitably do part, live my heart with a to be continued question mark. I know that if I don't kiss you now, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my days. These palms are sweaty, eyes red, a bit heavy. This room gives a smoky view and I'm ready, I'm nervous. But my focus must remain on my purpose to drop bombs on Rainbow Road, Shotgun Wario, let's-a go, I picked. While you were bickering over Cooper and Toad, I was busy rocking purple and yellow, crossback girl with a black lodged Mario. Now the cute who's counting down, counting 3, 2, 1. I'm a big pimp with a crooked moustache, listen to my evil laugh as I blast you and go past with my red shell, son. Don't even try and run. I'm like Scary Terry, yeah, Cooper, here I come, because you can run, but you can't hide, bitch, throwing banana skins at you until they hit and you slip and you trip and oh shit. Suddenly you're in 4th position, throwing green shells at Princess with all the skill and the precision of the Emerald Archer, and as I drive straight past her, leaving banana skins in her path, leading her to her next disaster. Cause I'm the master of bananas, a green shell Nostradamus. My ricochet game is insane, I'ma hit you with a bomb from so far away. Then, into 2nd place I do skip, kiss my dick as I slip off into the distance. Now, all I see is that little fungi prick, load up on green shells and blow him to shit. But I missed, and now I'm pissed. Shania Twain will be less than impressed. But now I'm stressed because at best there's only a third of the lap left. I need to take a breath and reassess my next steps when, from out of nowhere, a blue shell came from behind. It blasted Toad over the side and into 1st place I did slide. And the last thing that he did hear, as into the void he continued to spin, was, well, I'm a Wario. And I'm gonna win. We stand idly by and let time slide between our fingers as we desperately hold on to the mental pictures of our past. We keep those memories permanently engraved into our hearts. We let life pass us by, trying to keep those moments alive. We let life pass us by, terrified that those dreams will eventually die. We let life pass us by and sacrifice the future so we can mourn the past. We spend so much time reminiscing on former glories that we forget to create new ones. And if the grass is always greener on the other side, then believe it's rose tinted with a hint of pesticide. And if the past is always greener on the other side, then believe me, it's an illusion. The ocean was a vast and silent abyss. We danced like fearless children on purple waves of creation before our egos replaced dream with expectation. We watched a tune rise from the nun and set forth a series of events that would inevitably lead to our final kiss. Fingers intertwined as we tiptoed our way to the edge of the multiverse, tracing multi-dimensional ley lines, each one leading back to our first touch. Tracing new constellations onto your skin, mapping out new timelines that birth life, death, love, hate, beauty, pain, true balance. Together aside, we sit by the river watching countless worlds born then blink out of existence. We witness the first reigns of Atlantis as off into the distance gods and peasants acquiesce to their sentences, filling pyramids with ancient secrets that one day will be considered by the smartest of all as mythology. We play Kiss Chase on Mars, dance to Idea amongst the stars. You took a fat cat nap on my lap, and as I stroked your hair, I studied the Akashic records to see if Zack Snyder was ever going to make a decent movie. Or at least one that vaguely moves me. We part on Mulholland Drive, I kiss you one last time, stroked your hair, hold back my cry. And as each bird chirps its next goodbye, I'm desperately trying to hold on to the vivid feeling that is you. That is your kiss. Before the distance seems further, the minutes seem longer, and now I'm torn asunder, lost in a world without you. But you're always with me. In dreams. And if all dreams are simply windows to alternate realities and parallel versions of us, then I never want to wake up again. Because I miss you so fucking much. I want true democracy without a media bias. I want gender and race to no longer define us. I want to watch a DC movie that doesn't cause me emotional harm. I want to run across the beach and jump into my own arms. I want Zack Snyder to stop making movies. I want Tatiana Maslany to be cast as every member of the Justice League. I want a pair of those glasses that Roddy Piper had in They Lived, then people can see what a piece of shit lizard Rupert Murdoch really is. I want people to stop saying that only God can judge me. I want people to stop typing LOL if they're not really laughing. I want you to stop using your upbringing as an excuse for being a cunt. I want Ambush Bug to finally get an animated series of his own. I want vegan Haribo that don't taste like shit. I want Jar Jar Binks to finally be revealed to be the Sith Lord that he really is. I want you to stop forcing your opinions of religion onto children. Leave those poor fucks alone until they're old enough to make mistakes on their own. I want a button on Tinder that matches me exclusively with gingers. Girls with plenty of attitude that look at me like, who the fuck are you? I want a grubs. I want my own banana stand. These right here are my list of demands. I want new episodes of The Cape. I want new episodes of Stargate. I want new episodes of Farscape. And if we could get Jericho back to, that would be wicked. I want to watch Game of Thrones, but I want to finish the books first. It's not like I thirst for the written verse. It's more that I fucking hate Emilia Clarke's acting. I want you to stop reacting to this world like it's a burden. It's beautiful, heartbreaking, frustrating. I want to know where the lighter fluid came from. I want you to stop chewing with your fucking mouth open. For real though, just fucking cut that shit out. I want to live in a society that cares less about money and more about empathy, void of all bigotry. And ideally no Tories, they can kiss my dick and say thanks for it. I want to stop collecting regrets like the world's shittest poker decks. I want to leave your society and open a cat and penguin sanctuary. I want you to see how perfect you are and not just how perfect you are to me. I want to make you listen to idea and watch your mind expand. These right here, well, they're my list of demands. It was over like that, quicker than a finger snap. Another teardrop lost to the ocean. Now this guilt I built slowly breaks my back, but that's enough of that. You can't control somebody else's destiny. Do I want you alive for you or do I want you alive for me? But don't answer that. We all saw you blindly running, living life with the false presumption that the reconstruction of your heart will be that much more sudden, but your walls started crumbling. Mindset set to self-destruction, constantly conflicted by complex contradictions, effortlessly engulfed by endless expectations. Disney fantasies broke her heart into reality, so she kissed goodbye to the night and slowly fell into infinity. I'm not angry, I'm just sad. I'm just glad for the times that we shared together. And even though BFFF forever only seems to last for a fraction of for now, I'm just glad I got to call you a friend for a minute. Innit? I can't sleep. But who needs sleep anyways when all it does is pave the ways to nightmares, to paralysis? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of living in this restless existence, trying to remain persistent, trying to remain optimistic. But it's hard when every life lesson puts you on a path to more pessimism. I'm a perfect example of an optimist who became a pessimist, thanks to life experience. But now I'm trying to live my life like my favourite TV show. When it don't make all that much sense, I'm like, that was a damn fine episode. I just hope I grow old enough to see my character evolve, and I hope I'm satisfied with the ride by the time I reach my final episode. I just hope I'm satisfied with the ride by the time I reach my final episode. I just hope I'm satisfied with the ride by the time I die. And that was it. The Death Star was destroyed and I was suddenly unemployed, left out in the void of the real world. All the real work is done by droids. Life wasn't like this before I was deployed because they told me that the Empire needed me. I had to prepare to die if I wanted to be free. There is rebel scum all over the galaxy, and by the time this is over you'll even have a college degree, plus a nice plot of land on Dantooine, where I can chill and expand on my family. But life doesn't always pan out the way that we do see, so now I sleep on the streets with blisters occupying my feet, you see. War would be glorious, at least that's what they told all of us, not prepared for all of the horrors that will be presented before us. Women and children demoralised, innocent farmers burned alive. There's a reason we didn't shoot straight. We just didn't want to end any more lives. I'm a good person. But war makes you do terrible things. Innocence can turn to violence when you're surviving by any means. Creating widows and creating orphans like it's going out of fashion. Killing indiscriminately, then using the excuse we were simply following direction, which we were. but trust that don't make the sleeping any easier. The alcohol may bring the numbness, but the psychological damage runs much deeper. I've seen my best friends cut down in their prime, fighting for a war that's yours and not mine. We stood side by side, fighting for what we thought was right. If only we knew how the empire had lied. So now I'm stranded on Mos Eisley, not even sure what happened to my fallen brothers. I heard that some of them managed to flee and regroup into the Outer Rim sectors, trying to continue this bullshit war, not even sure what it is they're fighting for. Just a bunch of soldiers without a cause, while I sit here and try to ignore the looks on people's faces as they slowly pass me by. They probably just think that I'm a down and out who's given up on life. Who knows? Maybe they're right. Even if they knew what I'd been through, they wouldn't be happy with the side that I did fight, the dark side, and not the light. I wonder if I'll even see any sleep tonight. And as the words slipped out, I realised right then that I didn't even want to talk. The worst thing I ever did was to lend a voice to that angry train of thought, but some things can't be unsaid. A million variations of that sentence going around in my head, and as you stood there in your angry silence, I realised that was the moment that I'd lost you forever. But whatever we said, and all of the promises that we made, we were never going to be forever, no matter how much I wanted it to be that way. Sometimes the past can return to haunt you and bring back the pain that it did previously taunt you with. And sometimes you can wake up in somebody else's dream and realise that day you're not the person that you thought you would be. A bitter shell of yourself, driven by the passions and dreams of somebody else. We were perfect in every way, except for the ways we obviously weren't. I learned that sometimes when you put your heart on the line, you're going to get burnt. And just because we fit like a glove, it don't mean what we had was eternal love, and it doesn't mean what we had was going to last forever. Our love was an intense but a temporary adventure, so now I guess I'll just see you later. I hope things work out for you. I hope you get to spread your wings and fly the way that you've always wanted to, so now it's so many years later. I'm so happy things actually worked out for you. But now I'm going to say what I should have said all those years ago. The world has no idea how much I still love you. Everything started to fade into a mishmash of memories, a rehash of my history. The bridge between truth and fantasy, distorted, aborted. The truth is there, but I can't recall it, and I'm definitely remembering parts of my life incorrectly. The gaps that I'm missing in my own personal mystery. The gaps that I'm missing in my own personal Twin Peaks. I need a damn fine cup of tea to get to the bottom of my history and start to piece together what I can from this mess. Take what makes me smile and fan theory, the rest except for my thoughts of you. My thoughts of you are always pure. My thoughts of you are always happy. They always lead me to serenity. It turns out that rose tinted is my favourite colour. And there I was, always thinking that it's purple. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Metapod, Caterpie, Butterfree, Eevee, Squirtle, Psyduck, Golduck, Ekans, Arbrook, Cubone, Marowak, Spearow, Fearow, Nidorion, Nidorino, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Nidorina, a Goldeen, Seaking, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Ditto, Charmander, Charmeleon, Sandshrew, Sandslash, Vulpix, Ninetales, Ghastly, Hunter, Gengar, Growlithe, Arcane, Nightmare, Chokmare, Champ, Drowsy and Hypno, gotta catch 'em all. Rat attack with the boom bap, I gotta catch 'em all. Horsey, Seadra, Kingdra, Smootrum, Jinx, Onyx, Steelix, Lapurus, Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Ponyta, Rapidash, Mimikyu, Applin, Flapple, Appleton, Heatran, Krabby, Kingler, Cypher, Scizor, Lavatar, Pulpitar, Tyranitar, Landorus, Lullaby, Mandibuzz,
Sandshrew, Sandslash, Vulpix, Ninetales, Ghastly, Hunter, Gengar, Growlithe, Arcane, Nightmare, Chokmar, Chokemar, Champ, Drowsy and Hypno, gotta catch 'em all. Rat attack with the boom bap, I gotta catch 'em all.
Four AM again, I can't pretend the light ain't seeping in. If I was a gremlin, this would surely be the end, my friend. This cabin in the woods, it stood for many years, regardless of the hardships, the false flags and foolish fears. Impeccable fortress where the grass is overgrown. Maybe if I stay here long enough, the rest of the world will leave me alone. I'm never alone. Kitty's always there looking down on me, judging my every single movement, every failed moment woven to a tapestry. The owls are my protectors, the birds sing a pretty song, images lining these walls line up to one. One more daydream, then I'm done. Put the kettle on and place you comfortably under my arm now. This is not forever, this is barely even for now. Dream about you a little bit longer and avoid the sleep paralysis somehow. But for now I must reside in this solitary cabin, looking up at these tall walls and hope they don't cave in. Images of you and me help maintain this structure's stability. You're not the cause of my happy, you just add to it. 10 AM again, I can't pretend the light ain't pouring in. The sheep got tired of waiting for my wired mind to expire. All of a heart on my headphones, all of a heart is what I wanna own. But now I just lay here on my own and dream of you. So he was sitting there completely void of focus. He was searching for a purpose. He was trying to find a balance. He was watching the walls fall around him and he'd let them all. The emptiness within him was consuming him ever since she left him. But he's still not sure what went wrong. One moment she was there and the next she had left. After he saved her from the grips from an ape called Donkey, now he's chilling heartbroken in Brooklyn with his brother Luigi. But luckily work's been pretty crazy lately. The sewers are overrun with turtles the size of the arm and he's not sure where they've come from, but he's just seen a weird pipe that's bright green and a note afloat aside of it, and it did read. Well, hello Mario, my name is Toad and you don't know me, but the turtles you've been chasing were the part of the Koopa army. See, our princess is in peril, captured by a creature named Bowser. Now the Mushroom Kingdom's in danger because he's planning on marrying her and taking the throne for his own and turning our homes into mush and our bones into dust. So if you would kindly rush and come and save us, that would be wicked. Hopefully see you real soon. So we went home and thought, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm just a plumber and a doctor and a subpar go-kart racer, never been all that into danger, never had a heroic nature. But from the sounds of the words that I wrote in that note, this princess and her kingdom sorely need a saviour, so he stepped to it with only a hint of hesitation. By the time he arrived on the other side of the pipe, he woke up in a brand new dimension. Oh, I should mention within the first 30 seconds he fell into a hole and then he died. And then he woke up head filled with thunder and he started to wonder why he was back at the start. All the Koopa Troopers and the Goobers were back into their starting positions. Now he must continue this mission to save the princess and her weird as fuck kingdom. So he stepped to it like this shit ain't no hassle. And even though he died many times, he finally arrived at the final level. He shot Bowser with a flower and was greeted by a woeful looking toadstool who turned to him and said, well, hello Mario, my name is Toad and you're my hero. But it turns out that the princess, well, she's in another castle. Turns out we had some bad intel, but you never can tell who you really can trust. We've got Bowser spies amongst all of us. We use Max Fetton's system. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's fucking useless. So now it's time for the Crimson Plumber to rise, and we're pretty sure we know which castle the princess is in this time. And if not, well, fuck it, we've got a few more that you can try. And if not, well, fuck it, we'll keep pumping you full of mushrooms. You'll be fine. Trust me, you'll never die. So flash cut now to 30 odd years later. The princess is still lost and Mario's still trying to save her. Just like Koopa appears to be stuck in an infinite loop, desperate to play this cat and mouse game, knowing that every single time he tries to save her life, it don't take long before she disappears right before his eyes, but still he tries. But maybe none of this ever actually happened. Maybe it's all just to make up for the fact that Pauline was never originally kidnapped. Maybe one day she just decided that it was best that she left him in his depression after coming to the realisation that sometimes you can drown trying to help somebody else swim. So, unable to deal with his solo reality, he sits on his sofa, eating mushroom after mushroom, creating adventure after adventure, putting a blonde-haired damsel at the centre, hoping that one of these days he'll save her and she'll stay, hoping that one of these days he'll save her and she'll say, "Thank you. I love you. I've missed you." But those words will never be heard and that princess will never return to that little Italian plumber's castle. Peel back my eyes to maintain this conversation. Mediocrity is alive, sustained in your repetition. Who are you to shed an opinion? Who am I to even listen? A script so predetermined, I'm drowning in your verbatim, I beg your pardon. For a moment I thought we were engaged in a two-way dialogue. Now you're blindly staring at me and patiently waiting for your turn to talk. A deadpan expression, sugar-coated glazed over eyes, a look that's no less than you're likely locked in a lovely lullaby. Just waiting for me to summarise, balls deep in a conversation that's emptier than the grave where Epstein supposedly lies. A double X marks the spot. Maybe you're deep in thought. Probably you are not. Probably you're just waiting to add your predetermined opinion, outweighs your ability to listen, which kind of fucks my side of the conversation. Probably you're just waiting for your opportunity to one-up me. I told you how my friend died of COVID-19 and you bragged about how you survived COVID-20. Probably to you my words are absurd and deserve nothing more than a monosyllabic grunt, you monocynical cunt. Probably your insecurities desperately crave even the slightest attention. I'll give you all that you need if you can give me something real for just one goddamn second. Probably you just want to talk forever without a single thing to say. I want to choke you with my belt, but like in a non-sexual way. This conversation is egregious, tedious to the last drop. Blah, 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 blah. Won't you please just fucking stop? It's that euphoric moment when you're dead but you don't even know it, when reality can't seep in, no dreams can come creeping. It's like your brain has finally decided to pretend that it doesn't even exist, and I won't resist as I drift off into this endless abyss. But as a sleep paralysis hits, I find my mind is nothing less than a complex mess, not sure which form my insecurities will take next. Could be a lack of self-worth or superiority, complex, constantly walking with eggshell steps through a mind that's a minefield of regrets, trying not to slip, trying not to trip, trying to avoid the inevitable regression into my own depression. My head's so clouded I can't find a suitable direction for my life to go in. I'm trying to freestyle life but I keep on failing. I'm trying to fly so high but I keep on falling. I try to touch the sun but I keep on burning. Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. So we keep going, a day to day, pay to pay, as if we be knowing that we've got an outcome to be proud of and not just this one that we inevitably see for ourselves. So here we are putting our dreams upon a shelf, and our dreams started to fade the moment we started to get paid, and we realised that all of the hours that we trade don't provide enough coin for the things we enjoy, so we compromise and let things slide even though it kills us on the inside. And as we strive to survive in this life, we realise that the lies always seem to arrive on both sides of the argument, and the need yet lack of common sense from our government. The ones who are meant to protect our necks instead of laughing at the starving while they collect their paychecks. You see, for them it's a simple request: let your mind rest and acquiesce. Eat, sleep, work every day for minimum wage, get your council tax paid till you eventually meet your grave, and let your dreams slowly fade away. And let the media guide your way. And let your dreams slowly fade away. And let the media guide your way. Lap up everything that they say, but it's okay, just obey and don't stray from the path that for you they did lay. A path to a low self-opinion, and a path to a lack of ambition. Thanks to bullshit advertising, buy up every product that they're selling because it'll definitely make you feel that much more enticing. But we don't need your things, no matter the happiness or the content feelings that you claim that they bring. And if I hear one more mass marketing company telling me how to be happy, I'm likely to fucking snap and go all William Foster crazy, because all I need is my friends. And all I need is my family. I need a fat stack of comics and a nice cup of tea. I need the company of those who are special to me. We'll sit and watch Twin Peaks and quote "It's Always Sunny." And we don't do this shit because of your influence. We do this shit because we fucking kill it. And we do this shit because it makes us happy. Ain't no mass marketing slogan gonna influence me. So fuck your advertising. Because we can beat that feeling. And it's called a cleaner living, and that shit is the real thing. Because we won't pump your sugar water into our system, and we won't eat your chocolate if it's got blood in the ingredients. And we won't wear your sportswear if your trade ain't too fair, and no, I could not shit a care about the shiny things one with them. I care more about the children, the men and the women, who are being forced to work under these unethical conditions, and to the mothers who have cried, and for the babies who didn't survive, to the farmers who have died thanks to the various pesticides and the seeds of suicide. We apologise. We just wanted some strawberries out of season. Well-tasty bananas with minimal discoloration, and I know what you're thinking. It's not really a good enough reason for all of the pain and suffering caused, is it? Well, no. It never has, and it never will be. It felt timeless. It felt like time left us. It felt like in that moment time was irrelevant, and if I could hold on to it just for a little bit, that would be well good. My fingertips getting lost tiptoeing the most beautiful landscape, the most picture-perfect portrait, tracing new constellations onto your skin. My heart can't stop skipping its regular beating pattern until a new erratic type of music is formed deep within my chest. But now I just want to impress the best of myself onto your world, for as long as I can, for as long as you'll let me. Because one of these days, you're going to spread your wings and touch the sky, and I'm just going to be proud to say that I got to see you fly so high, and one of these days I'm going to be a reasonably well-known poet, and you'll know that all of my hers are written about you. And one of these days, our time together will be a memory. I just hope you understand how happy you made me. And one of these days, our life will be a distant memory. I just hope you remember me and we fondly. Banished to the mainlands of Naboo because they said I was clumsy, but the truth is, in realness, Gungans be straight up scared of me. I get that you probably blame me for ruining many of your childhood memories, but the truth is, y'all don't know half of my story. I'm like Mrs. Pancakes. You don't know me. So I guess at this point, I should probably introduce myself. I used to go by the name Plagueis. I'm the one who trained Emperor Palpatine, taught him everything that he knows about immortality. I'm the one he thought he killed while I was deep in my sleep. I mean, you know I can both create and destroy life, right? I can stop people from dying and shit. So what made you think that you could kill me so easily? Anyway, as my force spirit rose and left that decaying body, I searched for a new host, one that could happily sustain me. I came across this newborn, a Gungan, my new home. So fast forward 20 years or so and I've casually sift mind tricked my way into power. Sowed the seeds of mistrust regarding the goodness of the Jedi Order. Taught little orphan Annie disdain towards democracy, and the best thing about it is that he actually trusts me, and the best thing about it is that Emperor Palpatine still has no idea who the fuck I even am. He still thinks he's the master of his own stolen plan, not a puppet in my game being controlled by a brief swipe of my hand. So now I just kind of hang around in the background, you know, play the generic fool, influence the situation whenever I need to. Keep Anakin nice and cynical as you blunder fuck your way through the rule of two. I tell ya, Batman would be impressed with the amount of apprentices that you go through. First there was Darth Maul, who looked kinda cool but seemingly only badass on paper. Then you fucked up Darth Vader, who ended up needing breathing apparatus in order to continue. Oh shit, yeah, and Count Dooku, who was equally fucking useless. But he came with General Grievous, who was kind of a badass, so I'll give you that, I guess. Anyway, I digress. I destroyed your democracy. Handed the power over to Palpatine. You want to talk about a Phantom Menace? Darth Maul ain't got shit on me. I be hidden in plain vision, setting my sights on complete domination and the complete destruction of every Jedi and every single one of their allies. Why? Because fuck the Jedi. They can eat my dick, that's word to Binks. In fact, fuck the whole light side. They can eat our dick, it's word to Sith, and now it's 30 years later and Palpatine is gone, killed by that traitor Darth Vader, but trust the dark side is still strong in me. And believe when I say that my story is far from done. It's time for the Sith to rise again. This time the puppet on my string will be Darth Vader's grandson. And all she ever wanted was a little piece of heaven, just a little slice of forever, and she would never feel so alone again. But again and again and again, she found herself slipping into that familiar sinking feeling. She wanted to live life, but she couldn't find a reason. She wanted to have faith, but couldn't find anything to believe in. She wanted to know love, but she couldn't quite capture the feeling. She was tired of drowning under the weight of expectations, useless emotional trinkets, held close from toxic relationships. The captain of her own sinking ship, she tried to hold tight, but she slipped and she lost her grip, and as she was engulfed by the water, her last thought was of her daughter. She would have been 8 years old today. And then one day I'm at my desk, and as like usual, you walk past. You give me a smile, I give you a joke, you give me a sympathetic laugh that I keep close to my heart where low confidence is rife. Instantly, you're my Khaleesi, you be the moon of my life. Now, that last rhyme was lazy, and I'm sorry it was obvious, but I feel that those words were the best words to try and get my point across. You see, she'll send me an email from across the room. Hey darling, how's your evening? And what did you get up to? And it makes my day just to think she thought of me before logging on or signing in or making a coffee. So I reply and try and be funny, try and be awesome, try and play it cool, but every word that I write just sounds like, oh well, fancy you. Which would be cool if I didn't, but I do, so it's not. I'm so fucking obvious, I'm like Shutter Island's plot. And I'm so transparent that you can call me Griffin. I'm pretty fucking obvious, I guess is what I'm saying. But now every now and then, I like to fool myself again. That the smile that you did send was meant for more than just a friend, and I'd like to just pretend, but now it's the weekend, so I'll see you again on Monday. And now it's Monday again, I get that stupid grin, I get to see your face again, and that's for the win, because the weekend has been such a drawn out thing, getting baked with my friends, will this Monday never end? You see, I like your face. And I think you're really pretty. You stimulate my mind and you make me a little giddy. And you make me a little happy and you make me act a fool and you make me want to slap me for acting like said fool for the things that I do when I'm around you. Let me give you an example. If you were a Princess Toadstool and you were captured by Bowser, I'd come running and I'd save over mushroom hills, underwater levels and deepest darkest caves. Fighting Koopa Troopers, Boos and Goopers won't stop until the end, jumping straight from Worlds 1, 3 then 8. The Warp Whistle is my friend, so I'm at the final level. And your face is in my sight. But before the heroic kiss comes the main boss fight. Now the main boss is easier than real life can be. Just jump on his head 3 times and you're on to victory. But real life is harder and I wish that I knew all the things to say and do to try and impress you. And it's hard to talk to you without a CPU. So I'll see you again on Monday. She said I love you. No you don't, he thought. If you're honest with yourself, what you really mean to say is I'm used to occupying the same space as you. I'm used to the day-to-day mundane that we continue to pursue. I'm used to all of the things that a relationship brings, but I think these feelings are continuing to depart from the heart, and I'm sure that from the very start, they weren't as penetrating as I was originally led to believe. He's sure she wants to leave, to pack her shit up and flee. To a place that's far more appealing for her to be, which he's pretty sure is anywhere than right there as part of that we. So he sits and looks at her and tries to work out when that moment of love in her eyes turned not to despise, but more to indifference, to unwanting, to nothing, just cold. And as he reflects, was it regret or just general disinterest in this relationship? And he was sure he did his best. And he thought if they talked, they could walk through their discord and put one more breath into this dying mess that he would still confess was hands down the best and the greatest love that he would ever accomplish. And they say what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. But when your heart's been consistently torn out, the repair time can be longer. And the resulting structure might not be quite so stable and you might not be quite so able to withstand another onslaught. So at this point, he realises that about 1.5 minutes of real time has gone by and she's still sitting there waiting for a reply. Yeah, I love you too. Not that it fucking matters to you, he thought to himself. We got this cat named Kitty and she doesn't care too much for me. Even though I talk to her in Dothraki and do the things you need to do to try to keep a cat healthy, I give her eats and I buy her treats. I don't get mad when she shits all over my sheets. And when she tries to kill me by tripping up my feet, I'm still like, you're so sweet. And she looks at me like, who the fuck are you? Don't you fucking look at me. Where the fuck is my food? Go to the fridge, grab the pouch, then deliver food to mouth. Then fuck you, I'm out. I'm gonna go and hunt this mouse. And she kind of looks like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, with sad eyes that hide and a little ball of fluff. Rip the shit out of your post if you don't pay enough attention, look you dead in the eye and be like, fuck your stuff. Pretty little kitty, not a fuck to give to me unless I come stepping with a handful of dreamies. I'm like, hey, let's play, but she's way too busy looking dead at the wall. But I can relate sincerely. I'm pleading need me while she dreams of dreamies. Without tasty treats, she barely sees me. Bloodline of the Pharaohs. A Keshik record holder. I'm gonna lose your eye if you try and hold her, but I still do love that little kitty. Even though she clearly prefers my housemates to me. And although she'll never invite me to one of her cat parties, at least she's not a fucking dog.